Good morning, and then thank you for having me again. Uh, the topic given to me is something like I have another back-to-back talk, the other one in the hall A. So both the topics are overlapping because both pertain to regulation of devices or in the regulation, application of AI and regulation of SAMDs. So I will not go into much into the presentation, but I would like to share. So what is the regulatory landscape as far as AI in healthcare is concerned? AI in healthcare, in my terms, would be the application of AI as a medical device. So not AI for development of drugs, those things are not regulated by us. So where the regulator comes? The regulator comes when a product is claiming some sort of efficacy or some use for treatment, diagnosis, prevention, mitigation. These four are the keywords. If any of the product claims any of these, whether it should be whether it is used for treatment, for diagnosis, for mitigation of any disease or disorder, in such cases we step in. In cases, as a doctor said, my earlier speaker said, that AI is being used for development of drugs, for identifying new molecules. In such cases, it is not our domain because these are experimental things. So going forward, you develop a product, whether it is of efficacious or whether it is safe, we don't know. But when the product is developed, then we come into the picture. So I will briefly I will take you through the regulatory landscape in India. So in India we means the CDSCO. CDSCO is the Central Drug Standard Control Organization, so which is otherwise known as the National Regulatory Authority. But in India the subject drug is under the concurrent list of the Constitution. Concurrent list means both the states as well as the central government has the jurisdiction to regulate this particular area. So that way, the states can regulate to certain extent and the center can regulate to certain extent. But we have a common law. The common law is called the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, which is passed by the Parliament. So this law applies throughout the country, whoever regulates it. That is one. Under the Act, we have the medical device rules. So earlier we had one common rules, that is the drugs and cosmetics rules. But over the period, as the regulatory system is evolving, so we have separated various rules. So one is the drugs rules for drugs. The second one is the new drugs and clinical trial rules. This is for the development of new drugs, and for clinical regulation, we have something called ethics committees. So ethics committees who oversee the clinical development. So these are also regulated by us, and the post marketing, the safety consideration, these are also regulated under the new drugs and clinical trial rules. The third one is the medical device rules. These medical device rules were made in 2017. Earlier, the medical device rules were not there, so all medical devices were treated as drugs. So only few medical devices were regulated, so which were like products. For example, the syringes, the implants, so the bone cements, or maybe dental implants, or maybe any other implant. So only these were regulated. But in 2017, when this new rules have been made, so we have started regulating all types of medical devices in the country. So now there are almost more than 5,000 medical devices which are being regulated. So in addition to this, new products are coming up because of something called use of artificial intelligence in medical devices, for whether it is for prevention or for the diagnosis, for treatment, for all these categories. So one category is software as a medical device. So software as such is used in medical devices for various purposes. For example, if we have a CT scan, even that we have softwares, but those are called embedded softwares. They have a limited function. But in case of a software as a medical device, the product itself will either diagnose, either aid into treatment or monitor or any of these which fall under the definition of the drug. So today all SAMD are treated as a medical device in India, and therefore everyone, whoever develops some software which can be used for diagnosis or treatment or any medical device, they have to come to the drug regulator for obtaining a license. So without obtaining a license, anyone manufactures, not development is a R&D function. So manufactures and uses it commercially, then they are liable for severe punishments, including imprisonment up to 3 to 5 years. That is the status. And regarding the how these medical devices are regulated, so we have divided medical devices into 4 categories: the class A, class B, class C, and class D. So class A means the lowest risk, B low to medium, C medium to high, and D high risk. So class C and D are the highest of the risks, and class A and B are generally low to moderate risks. So the class A and B, we have delegated the licensing part to the state departments. So every state have their own drug administration departments. So there, the class A and B medical devices, including those falling under SAMD, they are regulated by the states. And class C and D are regulated by us, the CDSCO, that is the central government. And what comes under class A, B, C, that we decide.